Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Cole Wolfrun, and we're gonna watch a death battle. Spider-Man versus Deku, Marvel versus My Hero Academia. This is their newest one. I love superheroes. I know some of you probably saw my Superman review. I fucking love superheroes so much. All Might's one of my favorite superheroes, actually, funny enough. However, I don't know that much about Deku, because I kind of fell off My Hero after All Might made his big moment with his big nemesis. So I don't know as much about Deku as I probably should. I actually need to just catch up on My Hero. I remember liking it like a lot, like even outside of the All Might moments. So that'd be pretty cool. I know a shit ton about Spider-Man, but I'm pretty sure this is Miles Morales versus Deku. I actually don't have a ton of knowledge about Miles. I know enough, but I'm a Peter Parker guy. Like I'm also a DC guy over Marvel for the most part. There's a few Marvel heroes I really like. And Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel hero, tied with Captain America. But I'm a Peter Parker guy. I know enough about Miles, but as of right now, if you're gonna put them against each other, I think Deku's gonna take this. I think. Just based off my knowledge of both of them. Just because, they're both proteges to another hero, and Peter Parker would get his shit kicked in by Prime All Might. End of series All Might, though, Spider-Man probably kicking his ass. But anyway, that's enough jibber-jabber, and let's get into the actual reaction.
Miles Morales versus Izuku Midoriya.
Oh, that's loud.
Spider-Man versus Deku. He's whizzing.
All right, let's see.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons.
Why is the
and
closed
skills to
caption
find out
and
who would win a death battle?
All right, let's take this from the top again. This is Peter Parker. He was bitten by a radioactive spider, and for who knows how long, he's been the one and only Spider-Man.
A friendly neighbor to all of New York City.
Yep,
In a
that's
universe
the better
with
Spider-Man.
super soldiers, hulking green Goliaths, and world-shattering gods, Spider-Man is there to look out for the little guy.
But in a multiverse of infinite possibilities, that doesn't always last forever. Like in Universe 1610, when NYC's Webhead got iced on the job.
The city was left without its
Yeah.
protector. But fortunately, Peter wasn't the only one who got bit. Enter
So there's a lot of different universes where Miles gets the spider a different way. I kind of like the Spider-Man video game iteration where he becomes Spider-Man at the same time as Peter. And, Peter teaches him, mentors him. But the Spider-Verse movies are so fucking good, though. They're so good. So many animation just keeps hitting. Like, the Spider-Verse movies, K-pop Demon Hunters, all so good.
Miles Morales, a young teen from Brooklyn just trying to figure out his place in the world. And now, he had it thrust upon him.
Oh, yeah.
Canon event to start all canon events. Now it was Miles' turn to be the hero the Big Apple needed. And he had all the usual spider kit to help him out.
This spider carried the
Champions
Oz
Ultimate
formula,
Avenger.
a
Yeah,
genetics-enhancing serum that granted Miles
I love how he loves Naruto and Dragon Ball.
strength, speed, and the ability to alter his body's
But who doesn't like
attraction
Dragon Ball?
to crawl along
Everyone likes
any
Dragon Ball Z.
surface.
And you can't forget that classic spider sense, an internal warning system that lets Miles know about incoming threats so he
Yep.
can react ahead of time. He even got an upgrade that acts like a radar, letting him see through stuff.
But no spider person is complete
I didn't know
without
that.
their web shooters. Given to him by Peter's Aunt May, these webs have all sorts of applications between swinging, grabbing, restraining, projectiling, and being made.
That's something that I don't like as much about Miles as I do Peter, is that Miles doesn't make his own stuff as much, if I remember it. He does eventually. He starts making all his own stuff eventually, but at first he kind of gets stuff from Peter, at least in the Spider-Verse movie, but he gets there. I do like some of his abilities that Peter doesn't have, though. That's kind of fun.
Into constructs.
Not having Peter around to show him the ropes made things a lot tougher, though. And between mishaps with wall crawling and web slinging, Miles got off to a rocky start.
Like any typical teenager, he had a lot of self-doubt. Could he keep up in school? What was the right way to talk to girls?
And how could he live up to being Spider-Man when one of the villains he had to face turned out to be his very own uncle?
Oh,
Makes
yeah,
family
Prowler.
dinner so awkward. All that trying to kill you stuff.
Fortunately,
Get to the
Miles
feats.
had a leg up on
Oh.
every other superhero known to man.
Living parents.
Yep.
Better yet, loving parents. They supported him when things got tough, even if they didn't always see eye to eye. And thanks to them, he learned that the best way to be Spider-Man wasn't to do it like Peter.
When I think about
ads.
it's very
Well, I
carefully
get it. Death Battle
announced
needs to
he
make
is,
money.
a professional.
I get it, Death Battle. You need to make money, but
And it helped that this particular spider had a bit more to its bite than Peter's. Miles has a variety of unique powers, like invisibility and venom.
Not like Tom Hardy, though it is weird to give your main power the same name as one of your bad guys. Come on, Spidey, branding is important.
Miles can harness his own bioelectric energy and weaponize it, which is especially effective against individuals with genetic mutations.
one of my favorite things about Miles is the fact that he has the venom, the bioelectric punches and kicks and stuff.
Punching,
So much
absorbing,
fun in the
blasting,
game.
Mega blasting. Hell, he can even make electric constructs out of this stuff, like biowebbing and a damn sword. Jeez, what kind of spider was this?
It's not entirely science fiction. Studies have shown that certain species of spiders, such as the Linophiidae, have a process known as ballooning. By spinning a thread of their silk, they can use the Earth's natural electric fields to fly, traveling up to hundreds of miles. No pun intended.
Huh.
Well, whatever kind of bite it was,
Weird.
it gave Miles the edge he needed to find his worth as Spider-Man.
Miles can dodge gunshots, missiles, and lightning bolts. He survived all sorts of beatings, including a building exploding on top of him.
And in Spider-Man 2 game, he slams through a building that actually increased his momentum and made him fly further when he went out the other end when fighting the Sandman. They showed that clip, and that scene always is funny to me because it's like, he would have stopped.
OG Spidey could lift buildings and dodge light speed attacks, and Miles is more than a match for him.
Like the time he absorbed the energy of a bomb that was going to vaporize Harlem. A blast that would have equaled 15 million tons of TNT.
He's getting kudos from a ton of older heroes too.
Maybe Deku won't win.
The Ultimates and the Avengers. He even helped form the Champions, a team of teenage superheroes with the likes of Miss Marvel and Ironheart.
The king of Wakanda himself even suited him up with some Wakandan vibranium.
The same
Oh.
stuff as T'Challa's own suit. This super rare and tough metal can absorb kinetic energy and vibrational impacts.
It helps to regulate Miles's venom powers too, allowing him to better control his electrical output.
The vibranium
That's cool.
is thinner to better fit his acrobatic fighting style,
Haha.
but it can still shake off most fatal attacks like they're nothing. This stuff is tough enough that Deadpool's swords have shattered against it.
Though it's not as durable as, say, Captain America's shield, and enough kinetic energy will overload it.
Don't be near it when it does, or you'll end up like the Falcon here when he used his vibranium wings to stop a bomb that was gonna blow up New York City. That's twice now. Does any other city have to deal with this stuff?
But with vibranium and spider powers still...
Not in the Marvel Universe. In the Marvel Universe, it's always New York, which is, it's so funny because Marvel uses like real world cities and hardly ever creates their own, and then DC just made up their own, and it's like, man, I wouldn't want to live in Metropolis or Gotham, and it's like, yeah, well, you don't want to live in New York if you live in Marvel either. God, so many things hit New York.
aren't enough. Miles can push his electrical output into...
And you'd have to live in New York, too, which is like, nobody wants to live in New York. The cost of living's too high.
overdrive.
Giving him huge boosts in strength and speed, and making him a whole lot zappier. It's your classic shonen power-up, and he knows it too. He's a bit of a weeb, and has a thing for mimicking some favorites.
Despite his initial insecurities,
Does he do the
Miles has
Chidori?
managed to live up to his predecessor. No longer standing in the shadow, but side by side.
Literally, his universe...
I do like that Miles
blew
is a
up, and
weeb.
He was sent to the main 616 timeline, along with his family. And now it's him and Peter as a pair of Spider Bros.
He's even become
Like I said, I prefer the way the game did it, where they were just like part of the same universe from the get-go, but I get why they did that in the comics.
one of the big players of the Spider-Verse, teaming up with all sorts of other spider variants to defend the multiverse.
There's anime spider people, robot spider people, dinosaur spider people,
Huh.
spider people, a whole lot of them, each with their own way of getting the job done. Miles even led them into battle against the Inheritors, a bunch of interdimensional
Cosmic
vampire
Spider, too,
assholes.
yeah.
This is what Stan Lee was proudest of in his favorite superhero. Regardless of who they were, any sort of person could wear the mask and do the right thing. For so long as we stay true to ourselves and help others in our own unique ways, then anyone can be a hero.
Okay.
What
See what...
is a hero? To the citizens
Okay, so after that, I think Miles is a lot stronger than I thought he was. Like I said, I don't know that much about Miles Morales. Know a lot more about Peter Parker, but like after all that, he might be a lot more powerful than I gave him credit for. Stopping that bomb is going to be one of the big feats because they always pick like one or two big feats to like focus on, and him absorbing the energy from that bomb is going to be one of the big ones. I wonder what they're going to use for Deku.
of Japan, there was no one more synonymous with the word
All
the
Might.
Of peace. All Might.
The big numero uno. With a smile on his face, he could save anyone.
Anime Superman.
No matter what.
Or so it seemed. After a battle
But nowhere near as powerful as Superman. I know some people have like told them told them like, hey, All Might versus Superman. And Superman would flick All Might and kill him.
with his arch nemesis All for One, All Might was grievously injured. His time as a beacon of hope was coming to an end, and he would need to find someone to pass on the torch.
In this world, most human beings evolved to have their own individual superpowers, or quirks, but not everyone is lucky enough to get one. Like this kid named Izuku Midoriya, or as local bully Bakugo like to call him, the good-for-nothing Deku.
Izuku wanted to save people just like All Might, but even his idol told him that he would have to give up on his dreams.
Forever the beta male in the shadow of Bakugo
7.
and his Sigma quirk.
Okay. How weird does My Hero Academia get after All Might beats his arch nemesis? After All Might beats All for One? How weird does it get? Because 7 quirks? When does that happen? That's gotta be. I know My Hero Academia goes way further than I've gotten. I know I'm probably going to get a ton of spoilers here, but you know what? I'm fine with it.
Until he got the chance to alpha up and lend his rival a helping hand, proving himself worthy of All Might's torch.
And so after months of training, Izuku was granted All Might's quirk, One for All. This power allows him to boost his strength to incredible heights, using it for smashing attacks named after specific US locales, and a soccer club.
Or football, as they call it.
Straight punches, spikes, even finger flicks, One for All is the ultimate in strength-enhancing quirks.
The first time he used it, Izuku destroyed this giant robot in a single blow, on accident. Too bad it wasn't the only thing he destroyed, though. Damn, that looks like it hurts.
One for All's power was so great that the recoil would shatter Izuku's limbs when he used it. In
Yep.
the hands of an improper vessel, One for All could cause their body to explode. So Izuku
Fuck.
would need to continuously train to master it at his Hero Academia.
Say that again.
Oh no!
Here he
Don't make him
inspired by
fan
Earth
four stick
Captain
jokes.
Baraka to turn his zero name into his hero name, becoming the Deku who always does his best.
Something that he may have taken too far.
When it came to saving people, Do Your Best here had a bad habit of putting others way before himself. Sure, everyone
Yep.
else was okay, but he'd be good for nothing all over again if he got himself paralyzed.
So to cut down on his hospital bill, he developed full cowling. Instead of using his quirk in short bursts, he would continuously spread the energy across his body at low percentages, using it for acrobatics inspired by Bakugo's explosive movements.
And with that
Huh.
new thinking came a
Yeah,
new
I remember
style.
that.
Shoot style. To use a stronger limb that'd be less likely to break, Deku took a page from Nerd Emoji Ida's book and switched to focusing on kicks to pack in more of a punch. Yeah.
And that power would be needed. After a climactic battle with All for One, All Might would be forced into retirement, just a few months into Deku's training. Now it was his
Yep.
turn to face this.
And this is where and this is where I kind of bowed out of My Hero. I watched a little bit after All Might's fight with All for One, but I didn't get much further. I kind of got bored of it, but I've heard it's still good. I just need to get back into it. I really do.
Have to do it alone. Just as All Might had passed One for All onto Deku, it had been passed onto All Might by his master, and onto her by her master. One for All was a power that was built upon for generations.
The quirks of the previous users of One for All manifested in Deku, along with their spirits, or vestiges, to help him in his battle against All for One.
Black Whip gives him energy tendrils to swing around and restrain foes.
Whoa,
They can
that's
also
new.
raise his arms and manually control them.
That's why they're putting him against Spider-Man, because of the fucking tendrils. Huh. All for one gear shift, phase in, danger sense, float, smokescreen, black whip. Wow.
Muscles if he can't move.
Float allows him to soar high into the sky. By combining it with controlled blasts of pressurized air, he can effectively fly.
Danger sense detects incoming threats and unease, letting Deku react in advance. Though it's mostly like an alarm bell and doesn't tell him specifics like location or number of threats. Familiar?
Yeah.
Smokescreen lets him create a smokescreen, but he can use it at full blast to create a bigger smokescreen.
That's swell and all, but the real meat is in Fajin. After building up kinetic energy within his body, Deku can unleash it for bursts of strength and speed.
He's combined it with Black Whip to create the powerful Black Chain binding attack, and can use it in conjunction with full cowling to achieve foe 100%, equaling All Might's full level of power without any recoil.
He once used it to outspeed a bullet shot by Lady Nagant, a former hero turned villain who has a sniper rifle for an arm. I think I'm in love.
Across a distance of around
Yeah, that makes
215
sense.
kilometers within a fraction of a second. That's
Okay.
6,700 times faster.
Now, I
than
think
sound.
Deku's got
And Deku
this.
was moving so
I think
fast,
Deku's beating
bullets seemed
Miles.
Like it was standing still.
And he can go even faster than that with his final quirk, Gear Shift.
By touching a target, he can control its speed without abiding by the laws of inertia. He can slow down foes to leave them
Damn.
frozen in the air.
Deku
Moving so
got
fast,
way
he can
more
jump four
powers.
times in an instant.
Even All For One's own protege Shigaraki couldn't track him. And this is a dude who
Wait,
can catch light speed.
what do you mean, Shigaraki? What do you mean, Shigaraki? That's what happens to Shigaraki? Yo, I really need to keep watching My Hero Academia, don't I? It's actually, I did watch a couple things. I have watched a couple fight scenes of Endeavor versus other people. Just because people told me they were cool. But I really need to... Man, I need to keep watching My Hero. Well, what the fuck happened to Shigaraki? What? So many hands!
Protege Shigaraki couldn't track him, and this is a dude who can catch light speed laser beams.
It does have a time limit though. After 5 minutes of continuous use, Deku's body will catch up to his speed, suffocating him as his cells become unable to take in oxygen.
Not nearly as bad as One For All was suffocating him though. He's been doing all of this shit in just the 10th grade. I hadn't even figured out you can breathe through your nose
Fuck.
at that point.
The pressure of having to save his friends, the country, the entire world weighed on Deku, so he left UA to fight this war alone.
But alone was never where Deku fought best. Having come from nothing, his admiration for his peers gave him strength, just as they admired his strength and desire to help others. Even Bakugo came around to him.
So when it came time to finally put that demon lord back in hell, his classmates, teachers, mom, friends, enemy, and everyone else supported and cheered him on. Because that was the greatest threat to All For One's reign all along.
Not All Might, not Deku, not even One For All itself. Just people helping each other out. And with their
That's
help,
pretty cool.
Deku defeated All For One once and for all, blowing a hole in this huge storm and parting the skies for a brighter future.
Though he did lose his quirk and have to retire from hero work, getting a regular 9 to 5 as a teacher, passing on his knowledge to the next generation, just like every user of One For All before him.
Some might say he peaked in high school, if not for the sick new armor he eventually got to go back to kicking butt. He even made it all the way back near the top of the rankings.
All with the help of his friends. For so long as we keep reaching out our hands to help those in
That's
need,
pretty cool.
everyone can be a hero.
That's pretty cool.
Hello, it's me.
Fuck off, whiz. No, I want to watch the fight. Okay, so after watching both of them, my impression is that Deku is going to win, but Miles is more powerful than I thought he was. I will give him that credit. But I think Deku's going to win. I think his feats are just a little bit strong. He's definitely more powerful and has a lot more powers, even though some of his powers are pretty much just the same as Miles. Miles has got a lot of versatility with his abilities, though. I don't know. I'm not going to be upset if Miles wins, but I'm going for Deku. I honestly didn't really have much of a horse in this race. I just thought it was a cool one to react to. Yeah,
Through
let's
all
see.
It's
Possibilities.
time for
Oh my
a
god,
death
fucking
battle!
jump force. Okay. Is it going to be a 3D one or 2D? 3D, cool. Whoa, 2.5.
Whoa, I was looking care to show me what you can do?
All right, new guy. First lesson, don't watch the mouth. Watch the hands.
Now watch mine, Delaware!
I like this animation. It's a little weird, but it's cool.
Try that one more time. Guess who?
Isn't that how Peter Parker killed Batman on this show?
Power here. Gotta take this somewhere else. So gross!
You got skills, man. I like that.
He broke the web shooter? Cool. Like the really old York City?
I moved us to an abandoned part of the city so we can go all out! Because I always do my best!
Huh. I don't know how I feel about this animation, actually. It looks cool, but, like, it's weird.
If I'm gonna do my best,
Oh,
I gotta do my own thing.
yep. Oh, that's a cool shot. Okay.
Sarah was right! Your quirk is amazing!
Amazing is my buddy. They call me the ultimate Spider-Man.
Did he just Kamehameha? That's a terrible place for an ad, Death Battle. Wiz, come on, get better.
Shock absorption, not nullification. So,
Ah, they're doing the no move thing. Okay, that's cool. They're doing the All Might and no move. Chidori! Are they gonna Naruto Sasuke?
go beyond!
Are they gonna Naruto Sasuke this shit? Oh. Deku won! Okay!
Spider-Man, you really are the ultimate.
That's cool. Yeah, I figured as much. I kinda figured.
By talking about their
Okay,
superpowers,
let's hear the
which
justification,
match
though.
quite evenly. Unsurprisingly, given the not-so-subtle inspiration for Deku's quirks, though they did have some edges over the other.
The spider sense gave Miles more insight.
Yeah, I guess, like, if you were thinking about it, like, I was always, because every, like, a major hero in My Hero, like, was, like, based off something, like, inspiration. Like, All Might's clearly inspired by Superman and Captain America. And Deku didn't really seem like he had one, but I guess I just had to keep watching to find out that he was going to be the Spider-Man clone of the show.
On his surroundings and threats than danger sense, which has been worked around before.
This meant Miles.
I'm gonna say this now, though. Spider would get his shit kicked, or not Spider, Deku would get his shit kicked in by Peter or Miguel. He just he
It
would.
was harder for danger sense to detect when he wasn't attacking, while the Spider Sense's radar system allowed him to find Deku in a smokescreen. But Izuku's other quirks granted him advantages of his own.
Float was a lot more mobile than Webs, and Fa-Jin gave a bigger boost in strength than Venom did. Since both had some advantages and disadvantages, we're gonna call superpowers a tie.
Yeah,
Except
man,
for
that's
speed.
fair.
Scaling to Peter, Miles could dodge light
Okay,
speed attacks.
Miles has to be
Actually,
faster,
at
though.
least Izuku moving faster than that sniper bullet. Fortunately for Deku, though, that wasn't his best.
Thanks to Gear Shift, Deku could speed himself up to match Miles the same way he did to the light-catching Shigaraki. Even worse for Spidey, one touch from Gear Shift could freeze him in place and make dodging totally impossible. So
Ah.
goes to Deku.
As
makes
for
sense.
skill, Deku was incredibly talented at analyzing an opponent's abilities and coming up with strategies on the fly.
But Miles' powers and fighting style gave Deku few immediate openings.
Deku
Yeah.
may have received more formal training at UA, but he was ultimately only active in hero work for a little under a year.
Meanwhile, Miles has been handling everything from neighborhood crooks to multiverse-ending gods for
Yeah.
significantly longer.
It's close, but with his greater experience, skill goes to Miles. And that means the biggest deciding factor is raw strength.
And that
Deku.
was no contest. Miles absorbing the energy of that bomb was nothing to scoff at.
Knew they were gonna bring this up.
Overwhelming power is what One for All is all about.
When Deku defeated All for One, the energy needed to part those clouds with his punch had a yield of 362 billion tons of TNT.
Fuck.
Smashing the bomb Miles absorbed out of the water.
But it wasn't
Yeah.
as simple as that. Miles is wearing a vibranium suit after all. So the question wasn't necessarily who was stronger, it was if Miles' suit was tough enough to continuously absorb Deku's blows.
When the Falcon protected New York from that city-destroying blast, it had a yield of 546 megatons. Impressive, but Deku defeating All for One was still over 600 times stronger than Vibranium's limit.
These numbers are absurd, man.
Embers, not the full package.
And
This is
remember,
absurd.
Vibranium and Miles' suit is
Numbers.
much thinner than
Like,
Falcon and Black
the
Panther.
shit the kind of math they have to do is
Could
insane.
absorb as strong of a blast.
They're better than me. I would be too lazy to do that.
No way it could survive all of what Deku could dish out.
In
Yep.
this superpowered battle, it was Izuku's overwhelming speed and immense strength that made him the winning hero.
And the morales of the story is
The winner
Good job,
is
Deku. I kind of thought he was gonna. Oh, who's next? Let's see. What the fuck? Simon versus. I gotta watch that. Who's next up? Godzilla? No! Yo!
Subscribe and
Hulk versus Godzilla. That's cool. That's really, really, really cool. I gotta watch this Simon versus Kyle Rayner one. That one's probably pretty cool. I don't really like. I liked Gurren Lagann. It's fine, but I do like Green Lantern or White Lantern because it looks like they got White Lantern there. But Hulk vs. Godzilla, I'm tuning in for that shit. You guys might get a day one reaction to that one. I'm a little behind on this one. Sorry, guys. But anyway, yeah. So I agree. I don't know necessarily if I agree with a lot of things they said about like Miles's powers not being on par with Deku's or like being equal. I feel like Spidey should got the superpowers win. Just because Deku's were more varied, Spider-Man seemed to be a lot more good for what he was doing. Deku had a lot of powers that were like, okay, that's fucking useless. So like, that's useless in this scenario, so why are we getting a point for that? But I do agree that Deku's overwhelming power probably would outdo anything Miles can really take. But yeah, so I agree with this one. I don't always agree with their outcomes, but I agree with this one. So yeah, I guess in the next time you guys see a reaction for Death Battle, it'll probably be Hulk versus Godzilla, but maybe I'll do another one in the meantime. Maybe I'll do Simon versus Kyle Rayner. What I've been really wanting to do that I haven't watched the Death Battle is Hulk versus Broly. So maybe I'll do Hulk versus Broly before Hulk versus Godzilla. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm rooting for Broly against Hulk because there's no fucking way the Hulk beats Broly. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reaction, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.